Hi everyone, welcome back to another gameplay of Infinitode 2. So welcome to an episode of the 1.9 new game series. We're gonna take you, starting from your account or going all the way to max endless. Hopefully sharing some useful tips and strategies as how to progress most efficiently to the game and that max everything out. All this without using double gain, without using premium, without watching ads, And I hope you guys are enjoying this series so far. I've been learning a lot, through the changes, through adapting to how the game works right now. And now currently I'm at 29 hours and 41 minutes. But as I explained last time, because of the fact that the time that we play on 6.3 is not counted for the overall stats of the game, this is a very wrong number. Like I've been playing a lot more than this. If we would consider 6.3, I've been playing a lot offline, trying the different strategies. And so, yeah, I'm not gonna probably show anymore this number because again, it's always gonna be very low and it's gonna be a lot less than what I'm actually playing. Unfortunately, there is no way here to look at my actual real total play time, including all the 6.3 gameplays. But yeah, Now again, I'm gonna do this very quick episode because I've been getting some more research lately. I've been farming 6.3, collecting some very nice rewards, from the loot, just random. Sometimes it was a bit better, sometimes it was a bit worse. But you can see here in the top side, I've been able to finally max out these loot right here, right? It's gonna cost just these very common resources. And also being able to max crafting price. This was very, very important for me because now finally it means that I'm reducing to the maximum the cost of both crafting the blueprints, these legendary ones, in case I may need to do that. Not only in terms of the actual items, but also in terms of green peppers needed. This also affects the prestiges, for example. This affects the amount of platforms you can craft. Now you can see at level 5, I need 2 platforms and green peppers to craft them. So before I needed like 3, and now it's just 2. So of course it's a huge gain. And even the fact that I'm reducing to the maximum the amount of the green peppers I spend in crafting, it's super, super useful. And yeah, some other things I've been getting lately, again, just trying to adapt, trying to find the fine-tuning on 6.3, these very early stages of Endless. I got the installation time of the Infinite Miner, level 7. Remember, you don't want to upgrade the speed of the miner because of the fact that otherwise you're going to start producing enemies more quickly. And therefore, that means that you're going to be collecting more loot before it has time to become more rare. So that's why you want to have the miner level 0 at least for the first 20 minutes, 24 minutes of in-game time. So in that way, you are producing very slowly the enemies. And so you're giving time for the loot to become more rare. But at the same time, you're killing enemies. So you're actually making it to count. And so that's what I've been doing. So in this way, I'm able to start producing enemies sooner. I'm giving out seconds in a sense. And so the miner starts producing the enemies faster. And that's the only thing. And then right here in the original research, I've got some things level 10 as well in terms of general stats. For example, attack speed, right, level 10. Damage level 10. Experience modifier level 10. Range level 10. So all these very useful stats. And also I've got the very first level of the max experience level here. This is a unique specific research for Endless, exactly as the coin generation. And I got the level 1 because, again, this allows my towers now to have 5 more levels. So this is a huge increase, because normally towers get only +2. And you need specifically to go to each tower. And each level is going to give you 2 extra levels. With this one now, I can have 5 on all of them. And therefore, I've done some math. And that means that now I just need this upgrade level 8, right? So it's going to be level 16. Because plus the 5 that I get from this one is 21. And that allows me now to finally access the ultimate, which is unlocked at level 20. So either to go for the ultimate ability of the tower or to go for power. So to increase the overall stats of the tower. And yeah, so that has been a very nice thing to get. So for example, you can see that's why I got sniper level 8, right? Even basic level 8, freezing level 8. So being able to get access to that very juicy, very nice ultimate ability, which in many cases it's useful. So that's why on the main towers here, even Venom, Multishot, Tesla, my main towers that I've been using I've got them level 8. And other than that, you can see in the bottom, I've got the installation time level 5. So that's, again, a little bit less seconds that miners take to be installed. And also I've got the Green Pepper bonus now level 20. I think I'm going to leave it level 20. I will not keep upgrading it for the moment. But yeah, this allows me to gain a bit more green peppers from each single gameplay. And because of all these things, right, I've been, I opened up the tiles, I've opened up the keys, chests, everything. I crafted some of the bottom tier 4 blueprints into the tier 5 ones. And then I created a custom map and I sold it. Again, something else I've been upgrading is the prestige ticket drop rate. I got it now level 7. And I don't think I will keep resetting it over and over because of the fact that I start like lacking accelerators. Unfortunately, the fact that 6.3 does not count to the overall game time now anymore, I'm not earning accelerators through these gameplays I'm doing, and so that's very bad. And that's why I've set myself not to anymore spend accelerators in the item market or for reset, other than the very important resets that I will need. So certain things that must be required, must be needed. But other than that, I will try not to. And yeah, I sold the cast map, and I've got here the yeah, here we go. This amount of tickets. It was pretty nice, 523 tickets. And so that is finally allows me now to unlock low frequency and low rarity, which again, I'm gonna do it right now live with you. So first of all, it's the quest prices. This unfortunately is gonna make quests a little bit more difficult. So this means that every single enemy skill, every single score will be increased by 10%. It's gonna be harder to complete the quest now, but they're gonna be giving more rewards. And of course, in order to get this, you're gonna need the quest reset. Here we go. And finally, after getting that one, I have unlocked low frequency and low rarity. There is also another upgrade which you unlock, which is green pepper bonus, which again, I recommend you to spend 0 like prestige tickets on. You just want to focus low frequency and low rarity. This one is something that might be useful like very later on, very late game, just if you want to like max this particular upgrade like level 100. But at that stage of the game, you might not even need, once you max out these 2 upgrades, you don't even need green like prestige tickets. You start like needing a lot more. For example, bidders, you start needing resources, you start needing things that you actually need to max out towers. And so prestige tickets, like, yes, they're very useful, but once you get low frequency and rarity maxed out, they become not so useful. So again, this is an upgrade that it's right there, but depending on your gameplay, you might wanna max it out or not. And yeah. Now, the first 10 levels of both low frequency and rarity are pretty cheap in terms of prestige tickets, right? For each single level, you're gonna need the special 4 blueprints, right? And you're gonna need up to more than 5 maps sold for more than 50 tickets, which of course, if you have followed my gameplays, you should definitely have been able to do this. Yeah, now between the two, again, that's a very common question that player ask, which should I prioritize, low frequency or low rarity? I have some videos in the past where I showed with actual research, with actual tasks, that it's always better to prioritize low frequency. But again, getting low rarity up to a certain point ensures that you get higher quality loot. So you want to upgrade a little bit low rarity. You don't want to leave it like level 0. You want to upgrade up to level 20 at least. And level 20 here, that's 200%. So because each level here is going to give you 10%. So level 20 means 200%, right? So 200% plus 10% you have right here, 10% right there, that's another 20%. Then you have another 25% up here, so that's 45%. And then you have a 5% on the star research. That's a total of 50% more. So you get 50% more rarity from things that are not the prestige rarity. So this particular upgrade that you can get up to level 100. And so again, in my opinion, still, I need to do some updated tests. Like on 1.9, I've done some very few tests. And for the few tests that I've done, it looks like low frequency and rarity are still exactly as before, right? So only the mechanics on 0.3 have changed, but these two upgrades have the same, right? Loot overall is the same. And therefore, it should still be valid. The previous stats, the previous statistics, which show that low frequency is actually better and should be prioritized over loot rarity. So you have a 2-1 ratio, right? You reach like loot frequency level 10, then also rarity level 10 because it's going to be cheaper. And then you start doing the 2-1 ratio. So you have loot frequency to be double the level of rarity. So for example, you go to 2010, right? 2010, then for example, 2211, 2412, right? 2613, and so forth. So for every 2 levels of rarity that you get 1 level of loot. Sorry, for 2 levels of loot frequency that you get 1 level of loot rarity. All the way to loot frequency level 40 and loot rarity level 20. After that, it's all about focusing and maxing out loot frequency. So getting loot frequency from level 40 to level 93, actually. Only loot frequency. And then at level 93, that's when you reset loot rarity. You get back those tickets that you spent to get to level 20. You get them back. You get loot frequency level 97, which, because of this extra 20% that you get from the star research, it allows you to be very close to 1000% loot frequency, which makes it to spike. So you get tons of loot as you get closer to 1000%. And so the last 2 levels of loot frequency, like 97 and 98, to reach 1000%, considering this extra 20, they are all super good, and you want to really get them very fast. So you get loot frequency 98, right? That's the maximum you need. If you go further, it's not required because loot caps at 1000%. Like you cannot go above it. And then you start maxing loot rarity, right? So that's the idea. Again, I need to do some tests in order to see if that particular progression is still the best one and is still the same even on 1.9. So I'm gonna have to take considerations on 6.3, how to approach it, which strategy to use. But I'm like 95% sure that it's still valid. And because again, the loot hasn't changed from before 1.9 to after 1.9. It's just the mechanics on 6.3. So yeah, now I'm gonna unlock loot frequency. And let's go actually, let's go to levels. Why not? So this is gonna actually double now the amount of loot frequency I have. Before I had only 20% coming from the star research. Now I got 20 plus 20, so that's 40%. And yeah, then slowly I'm gonna get probably 1 point of loot rarity. I might even do like a 2-1 ratio, until I get like loot frequency level 10. So it's gonna be like 10, 5. Then I might go loot rarity 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 because again it's cheaper. And then after that, I'm gonna keep the 2-1 ratio as I said before. So yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted to show you. Again, I've gone to the Infinitode 2 server. So wait, as I'm talking here, I'm gonna just go very fast a 6.3 strat, right? At least the one that I've been using, right? So you guys have an idea. It's gonna be very similar to the ones I've showed you. Now it's just less. I think it's like 10 less seconds on the installation time of the miner. That's the only change. So I've gone to the Infinitode 2 Discord server. And actually, I found some players suggesting that now it's better to prioritize loot rarity. I don't know why they say this, and I don't know if it's based on actual tasks or on an overall idea. But again, it might be that now 1.9, because of maybe some changes on the game, it's better to prioritize loot rarity, especially if you're farming, if you're going for 6.3, right? So it might be the case. I'm just very skeptical because it's very counterintuitive, especially considering all the tests that I've done previously, where I actually compared, prioritizing loot rarity or prioritizing loot frequency, having keeping loot rarity level 10, for example, keeping loot rarity level 20, and with different levels. And those levels, those tests that I did were very, very clear in showing that prioritizing loot frequency was always best. Like in no scenario, loot rarity was better. No scenario. Again, if you might be trying to go for something like, I know, a BDS, if you want to collect more BDS, if you're getting also some upgrades on the BDS drop rate. And if you're prioritizing something else other than loot, it might be that going for loot rarity could be better, or like you could earn maybe slightly better items. less items but better. No, it could be. I'm not saying that it's not, but I'm very like skeptical of the approach, because again, it was the same approach that was said to be the best before 1.9. Again, some players said, yeah, the keeping loot frequency low, going to loot rarity level 60, and then you upgrade loot frequency, right? Something like that. It was considered by the community the best approach possible, and the best way to, the best ratio, you know, to go to. And then as I started doing the tests, I started like actually seeing and showing with data that it was not the case. So even something that was believed by the community to be the best approach possible and the best ratio possible, it wasn't actually the best ratio, especially considering the amount of prestige tickets you will earn from that loot, you know, from that ratio of loot frequency and rarity. So again, it might be the same now. I've asked some of the players who suggested that this might be the case to just DM me or to just write to me to send me some data, some tests that I've done to see why they are suggesting that, you know, loot rarity now is better. But I have no reply so far on Discord. So, but yeah, you know, it's just something that I like math, you know, I like stats, and I like to really find the small things in the game, the nuances in the game, which make you to progress more efficiently, right? Better. Of course, this is a game, so you can approach it, you can play in whatever way you want. So I'm not saying that, you know, only the what I suggest is the best thing to do. Of course not. Or is the only thing that players must do. Of course not. You can even spend the tons of time just farming, just going maxing normal research, and that's it. You know, you might not even play endless, and that's fine. You know, any player can approach the game as they prefer. But if you're suggesting that on endless the best progression is to go for a certain ratio, no low frequency, no rarity, and like many players are following that tip and are following the strategy, but you know that is actually wrong, or it's a bad advice, then I think it's good to correct it. You know, to say, no, look, this is not the case. This is not the best thing to do. I mean, it's a possibility, of course, but like you don't. Like, it's different when you say that something is the best progression or this is the way to go now, when someone can actually prove it to you that this is not the case. You know, when someone can show you, no, look, the best way in order and it gives you data, right? The best thing to do in this particular scenario is actually this thing, not this other thing. And so I believe that in helping the community, in helping the players to know the mechanics behind things, why are you prioritizing things over the other, not just in theory, you know, because in theory we all say, well, if you upgrade loot rarity, you get higher quality loot, so you get more legendary items, and therefore that's better, right? But unfortunately, statistics do not work like that. You know, you need to actually show and to prove with data that that's the case, because yes, it's true, you might get a little bit more legendary items, but if you're getting a lot less loot overall, even lower quality loot, well, that lower quality loot can then be crafted and then can be used to still gain lots of prestige tickets. And so if you consider everything, it might be worse to go for more loot rarity, even though you might be gaining more legendary items or more biggest in this case. So yeah, I don't know. As I said before, I haven't checked exactly. I haven't done any proper tests. But if you go to the Infinitode Discord, there is still on the statistics page, I think there is one of my last Excel programs, I think, or just the graphs where I showed which was the best progression. Like I compared different progression styles. So for example, prioritizing loot rarity, optimizing loot frequency, loot rarity, or going for loot frequency. And it actually showed with data, so transforming all that loot into items, and then those items into prestige tickets, how much value that loot had, and then the loot frequency ones were overwhelmingly the winners. Now here, just commenting again a bit the gameplay, what's happening. You can see that I got a freezing tower, maximum as I can get it, with its third ability, because this is gonna make the boss to move more slowly. And once I mine around 125 scalar, so around like 29 minutes in-game time, that's when I upgrade also the miner level 1. This is something that I've seen works because of the fact that this stage, the loot I start earning, like it's like almost exhausted. So I stop earning those triple or fourth times loot, right? So it's gonna be sometimes 2, it's gonna be sometimes 1. So in order to get a bit more score, get a bit more green papers, and get a bit more scholar in the meantime, right? It's very little, but in order to get a bit more, I have decided, and I've seen that actually upgrading the miner level 1 is actually pretty good. And so yeah, that's why I've been doing it. Then getting scholar level 4 here. Sorry, basic crusher. Wow, I can't even talk. So crusher level 4. And that's the core. No enemy speed reduction at first. Then you go for first 2 levels of coin generated per minute. Then you go for experience multiplier. This allows your crusher, but especially your freezing, to level up faster. And so you unlock the third ability more quickly. And remember, I don't have that much research on my freezing. So if I could upgrade it like level 10, if I could have even more stats and more freezing percent, I would be able to slow down the boss even harder, because this ignores the max percentage freezing, which is 65%. And so so yeah, it could definitely be higher, even with more abilities. It could be higher, but still it's fine. And this gives around like 5 more minutes, especially if you go for the middle path here, right? You slow the boss even more, because now the freezing percent is 45%. So it's slowed down by even more. And so it gives you roughly 5 more minutes of in-game time until the boss reaches your base and just leaks out. So yeah, that's the idea. Again, core is not needed. After you get those upgrades, it's not needed. And you can see that now I'm earning a lot less loot, like less frequently. Only one kind of item, right, at a time. Sometimes it's going to be 2, but it's mostly like 1. And that means that my overall loot is almost exhausted. So like I've been able to earn through this process all the loot that I had. And so yeah, it's exactly what you want. And that's it. That's pretty much the strategy I've been using, you know, utilizing the freezing, the fact that with the third ability you can slow down the boss, gives it a bit more time. More in-game time means loot becoming slightly more rare, even though, as I said before, my loot becomes exhausted even sooner. Like around 30 minutes, it already goes down by a lot. And so, yeah, it's not really that relevant. But yeah, you know, a little bit more loot is the same. As I said before, the loot ticket is not exhausted. It's not counted because of the changes of on 6.3. It's not counted anymore for total game time. And so there is no issue with that. And yeah, so you can go FAK, as I said, many of the times in this part of the game. You know, once you max out freezing, you get the second ability, and you get everything set up. You can just write, read, study, work out, do anything else as you are waiting. Because in this particular case, you don't even need to do anything until the boss leaks. You just let the game run out and end. So you can literally go do something else, and even if the game runs out, it's fine. It's gonna run out, and you're gonna come here to the menu button, and then you're gonna exit. So nothing really happens, even if you are not actively in the game when the game ends. So yeah, it's fine. All right. So yeah, that's it. I might do another video in the future where I show the how to get the other 2 research tickets that we might be able to earn through the quests on levels 6.5 and 6.6. So that's something else that I'm planning to do, because still I'm not really earning consistently the lucky wheel tickets, and so I haven't even tried to go to the wheel to get the research tickets from there. But definitely getting those extra 2 research tickets from the quest might be useful, you know. Unfortunately, those levels are pretty tough and they're going to be pretty difficult already. So I might need even more research, but yeah, we'll see. And then eventually, you know, as you are still completing the quest slowly over time, you can even reset. If you reach 20%, you can reset again, and therefore you can have another 3 tickets for free, you know. One in 5 bonus 2, another one in 6.5, and another one in 6.6. And other than the ones you might be able to earn through the lucky wheel. So of course, in that way, I might be able to get some more researches for free. I mostly focus it now on endless mode difficulty. You know, I want to really max it out as quickly as I can. And I think that using the research tickets is going to be the way to go, because it's way too many green peppers that I need to upgrade it, and as well many of these legendary blueprints. So for the moment, I guess the fastest way is through the research tickets. And again, remember, every single increase of difficulty makes you earn more loot already. So the more you increase endless mode difficulty, the fastest you get it, the better it is, because you get more rewards, better loot. So it's much better than actually going for loot frequency and rarity in the prestige tree, because that's much more slow. It's a slower process. Instead, like even a 50 extra % on the endless mode difficulty increases the loot significantly. So yeah, here we go. That's the end. As I said before, you don't need to be here when you end the game. You might be even FAK off the computer, whatever, it's fine. And then when you go back to the computer, you might find this, or your phone, in case you're playing on the phone, you might find the screen, totally fine, you know, just click on the menu, and that's it. So you can see here in this particular run, I got these items. Remember, this is just RNG, so sometimes we're going to be earning more legendary or epic items, sometimes we're going to be earning less. It's just random, you know, exactly as bid this. But remember, you don't care here about bid this, you care about the actual items needed for loot. So the tiles here, these ones are very important. Sources, super important. Keys, because, or chests, because they are going to give you actually even more portals, more bases, more platforms, more tiles. And a little bit of green peppers, you know, it's always useful. And well, in this case, I got accelerator because I think I had some time from the quests, from the daily quest, the daily loot, I think I got. But normally I'm not earning any more accelerators. But yeah, that was it. So that was the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching and see ya. Bye bye.